Hello everybody, I'm Kat and I have another fun little book challenge video for you guys today. I would like to apologize on behalf of Mother Nature because I'm sure you can hear the rain and the thunder happening outside because Mother Nature decided at this very moment that rain and thunder needed to happen. And I also apologize if I still sound a little congested because I'm still getting over that cold that I had a week ago, but I'm sure you can tell I'm already feeling much better. So like the title suggests, I'm doing the bookshelf scavenger hunt tag challenge. The first challenge is to find an author's name or a book title that has the letter Z in it. And for this one I went with Freshman Year and Other Unnatural Disasters by Meredith Zettelin. There's a Z in her last name. It works. The next challenge is to find a classic book. For this one, I went with Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I really like this cover, it's so adorable. The third challenge is to find a book with a key on the cover. And for this one, I went with The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I couldn't say that to save my life, but it has a key right here as you can see. The next challenge is to find something on your bookshelf that is not a book. Well, this one was a pretty easy one. I went with my 11 Funko from Stranger Things. If you watch the show, you know who this is. And if you don't watch it, you should. The next challenge is to find the oldest book on your shelf. For this one, I went with Smile by Raina Telgemeier. I've had this book for many years, and as you can see by the spine, it's been very well loved. I've read this book quite a few times. The next challenge is to find a book with a girl on the cover. This one was so easy. I went with Leah on the Offbeat because Leah is pictured on the cover. The next challenge is to find a book with an animal in it. For this one I went with the Sailor Moon manga series because there are 3 cats in this book that reoccur throughout the entire series. The next challenge is to find a book with a male protagonist. Are you even surprised? I mean, it isn't one of my videos if I don't at least mention this series once in it, you know? The next challenge is to find a book with only words on it. So for this one, I'm gonna go with the US paperback edition of I'll Give You the Sun by Jane Nelson because this, I'm pretty sure, is a quote from the book. I don't know if you can actually see it because it's shiny, but there's a quote from the book on the front of it, and as you can see, it's all words. There's nothing else on there. The next challenge is to find a book with illustrations in it. For this one, I'm gonna have to go with my copy of Coraline by Neil Gaiman because there are illustrations throughout it. Some of them are scary though, so I don't know if I want to show. Oh, here we go. Here's a non-really scary one. The movie's pretty creepy, so I mean, if you've seen the movie or read the book, then you know. This is one of my all-time favorite books from childhood, but this isn't the edition I had. I had another edition. The next challenge is to find a book with gold lettering on the cover. So I went with the Fantastic Beasts screenplay by J.K. Rowling. The next challenge is to find a diary. The closest thing I can find is Autobiography by Christina Lauren because he's literally writing down the events as they're happening. By the way, this is just the cover of it because I'm currently reading it. The next challenge is to find a book with a common name. For this one, I'm gonna go with First and Then by Emma Mills because Emma, it's a pretty common name, I'd say. The next challenge is to find a book with a close-up of something on it. For this one, I'm going with Anna and the French Kiss because it has a nice close-up of the Eiffel Tower, as you can see on it. The next challenge is to find a book on your shelf that takes place in the earliest time period. I'm gonna go with Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen because this book takes place in the early 1800s, which is probably where the books on my shelf take place the earliest, timeline-wise. The next challenge is to find a hardcover book without a jacket. And I don't know if this is cheating, but Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This book was in my backpack, which is downstairs in another room, so technically it is jacketless. The next challenge is to find a teal/turquoise colored book. I wish I hadn't used Leah on the Offbeat because that would have fit perfectly. For this one, I'm gonna go with Paper Girls Volume 3 because the background is teal. The next challenge is to find a book with stars on it. For this one, I'm going with A List of Cages by Robin Rowe because not only does it have a bunch of stars here, but when you take off the jacket, it actually has stars embedded in the hardcover. And the last challenge is to find a book that is not a young adult book. For this one, I'm going with The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo because this is not a young adult book. It is actually nonfiction. And that is it for this tag. If you want to do this tag, you can consider yourself tagged by me if you want to. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every Thursday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!